Welcome into this episode of Drilling Deeper. I am Jack Kopansky, managing editor of Pit and Quarry. Today, we are joined by three members of Buffalo Wireworks. Joe Abramo, Christine Abramo, and Max Davis are on this episode. They talk about the history of Buffalo Wireworks, the company's upcoming rebrand to Buffalo, the company's product suite, and the company's tech squad, and much, much more. This was a great conversation I was able to have with the three of them. I think there were a lot of good insights to come out of this, a lot of fascinating looks into this company that really takes a family dynamic. It really feels like a family business. That's something they are very, or I should say, put a lot of emphasis on. I think there were a few interesting quotes that I was able to pull from this interview. Right at the start, one of the first things you're going to hear from Joe Abramo is that this really is sort of, they treat it like a 156-year-old startup company, and that's just sort of a really cool way to look at it. They're always looking for ways to grow and improve what they offer. Max Davis later in the episode talks about how the goal of Buffalo is sort of, they tell their customers, give us your biggest headaches and we'll make it go away. And I thought that that's just a really cool way of looking at the commitment that they have to their customers, the way that, they do so much more than wire. And that's part of what goes into this Buffalo rebrand that you'll hear about in this episode. And then finally, Christine Abramo talks a little bit about, near the end, about what the company's going to have in store for the upcoming AGG1 Academy and Expo in March. They're going to have a new booth that she's going to talk a little bit about. They've got a new logo that is sort of looking ahead to the company's new identity as Buffalo, but also retaining some of the history and nostalgia of the original Buffalo logo, which I'm a sucker for nostalgia, so I thought that was pretty cool. And she talks about, and you'll be able to hear from her a little bit more about how they're sort of taking the approach at AGG1 of saying, follow the Buffalo. There'll be a big, their new logo up top in the rafters at AGG1, so you probably won't be able to miss it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store in St. Louis next month. So without further ado, let's hand it over to Joe Abramo, Christine Abramo, and Max Davis from Buffalo Wireworks. Welcome into this episode of Drilling Deeper. Today we are joined by three members of the Buffalo Wireworks crew. We are joined by Joe Abramo, Christine Abramo, and Max Davis. Joe serves as the chairman and CEO of Buffalo Wireworks, marking a historic milestone as the first non-family member to lead the company in its 150-year history. Under his leadership, Buffalo Wireworks has embraced new strategies for growth, operational efficiency, and innovation. Before joining Buffalo Wireworks, Joe held several senior leadership roles, including Chief Operating Officer at Eastman Machine Company, Director of Operations at MIT's startup Cutting Edge Inc., Manager of Manufacturing at Raytheon's Missile Defense Division, and Manufacturing Engineer at General Electric's Aircraft Engine Group. His extensive operations, engineering, and management background has been instrumental in shaping his approach to leading Buffalo Wireworks into the future. Joe holds a Bachelor of Science in Science and Computer Science from Springfield College, a graduate certificate in Business Administration and Management from Harvard University, and an MBA from Salem State College. Christine Abramo is the Vice President of Business Development and Marketing at Buffalo. She leads strategic initiatives to drive growth, enhance customer relationships, and strengthen the company's global presence. Christine's career with Buffalo began in 2007 as a Spanish sales associate, and she returned to the company as a business consultant before stepping into her current leadership role in 2024. With extensive experience in business development, sales, and marketing, Christine has held key leadership positions at Social Studies Inc. as head of global revenue, Televisa Univision as Vice President of Business Development, and in multicultural partnerships and sales roles at Group 9 Media, Pop Sugar, Fluvip, Evolve Media, and the Mundial Group. Christine holds an executive MBA from Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management and a bachelor's from Hobart and William Smith Colleges. Last but not least, Max Davis is the president of Buffalo, responsible for overseeing the company's day-to-day operations and strategic direction. Since joining the company in 2009, Max has held various leadership positions, including outside territory sales manager, vice president of architectural sales, and vice president of business management, contributing to the company's growth and operational success. Before his career at Buffalo Wireworks, Max worked at HSBC Bank, where he completed their graduate management development program and gained extensive experience in business management and leadership. Max holds a BA in economics and mathematics from St. Lawrence University. Joe, Christine, Max, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
That was awesome. That was a full lowdown. I think we haven't heard bios called out like that in a long time, making us feel She'll
I
over here.
feel honored as part of the school.
Yeah.
Certainly three very impressive and extensive resumes. So I'm excited to hear what you all have to say about what's going on at Buffalo. Obviously, a very exciting time, a lot going on that we'll get into. Yeah, just thank you all. Thank you all for making the time today.
Thank you.
You know, we heard a little bit about it in some of the bios. Buffalo Wire Works, obviously a historic, very well established company, a 155-year history. For those that might not know about the company, give us a little history about Buffalo Wire Works.
Well, Buffalo Wire is 156 years old. It was a fifth generation company founded by the Schielers from Darmstadt, Germany, when they came to the US. I was brought in 2000 to turn it around because after 5 generations, sometimes you need change. So I came in to turn it around, and I bought Buffalo Wire Works in 2002. It's wonderful. I mean, I view us as a 156-year-old startup company. You know, I spend time recruiting, training, retaining employees. I have a great management team, top-notch management team, and we've been growing basically every year since 2002. We've had a couple blips there during COVID and maybe a recession, but since that we've been growing and investing in the company. It's a wonderful. We're an engineering company, and that's why Christine had to rebrand us, because people thought we were just a wire company. We're more than a wire company. We've been acquiring companies and broadening our product suite. Max is going to elaborate on that later on here, but we continually invest in personnel, tooling, equipment, and it shows with my management team, the depth of my management team. Very technical team. It's really an engineering company.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's excellent to hear. I love the way you put it, 156-year-old startup company. It seems very indicative of sort of the culture there, and obviously in getting to know you guys a little bit, that definitely fits the bill. Joe, we obviously, heard your resume, a very impressive, a very lengthy a resume there. Can you just tell us a little bit about how all of this came to fruition, how you got your start in manufacturing, how you came to Buffalo Wire Works, and you're still here 46 years later. They must be doing something right.
Well, it was interesting. After I got my bachelor's degree, I was looking for a job, and a friend of mine worked at General Electric, and he got me into an apprentice machinist training program at GE. So I have my academic background here. I went to General Electric, and I became an all-around tool and die machinist. And I just love manufacturing. I've loved it ever since AGG1 when I went to General Electric. I stayed in defense manufacturing for 16 years, making jet engines at General Electric and Patriot missiles at Raytheon in manufacturing. And it's fun. It's been a fun ride. Then he went over to an MIT startup company, and that was fun. That was a different style. I wasn't big corporate America. Okay, that was a entrepreneurial startup, managed in a different fashion, but I enjoyed that as well. Following that, I went to turnaround family companies, and that's how I got here at Buffalo Wire. They needed someone to turn it around after 5 generations. They lost the recipe. And I ended up buying it 2 years after coming there. But the state of the company back then in the early 2000s, 2002, they needed to change and change quick. And that's what we did. I recruited a great management team. We came in, we looked at the issues, and we resolved those issues. And then we moved on, and we've been very successful ever since. But definitely there's a focus on technical individuals in the organization. Whether they're academic or practical, hands-on, I appreciate both. But both skill sets are needed. And I always say that we recruit and we have a great team of complementary skill sets. You know what I mean? You work together, and we listen, and we take the best ideas and move forward. So that's how I got involved in manufacturing. Again, it's a total pleasure. I enjoy it every day. And it's fabulous having my family on board here. Christine, Max, Lindsay works in the business. My wife works in the business. We're a family business, and surrounded by other very, very talented individuals. And yeah, we're enjoying the ride.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very clear. And, to be doing something for as long as you have and still having that passion for it. It's obviously very clear that, yourself, Christine, Max, you all love what you do, and that's just very evident in talking with you, and that's so great to see. I guess, really for any of the three of you, whoever wants to chime in, just, what does it mean to you to be a part of not only a business that has been around for this long and is, obviously still so successful, but that it is a family business, that you're able to work with, the people that are closest to you?
Yeah, I'll jump in because I'm the newest to the crew. Kind of did my own thing for 12 years in advertising, like you mentioned before the podcast started. And I think when I started to listen, I was always one arm in. I was kind of listening to all the conversations. We were riffing business ideas off one another. And I was really adamant about doing my own thing. And then when I finished my MBA, I started to think a little bit more like, what do I love about my job day to day? It's being passionate about the greater good or the greater goal of what we're looking to achieve. And when I really started to think about it, things kind of fell into place where I said, what could I want to do more than help my family? So at the end of the day, it's like I can either work for these businesses or run these businesses and know that this is still right here, or have the opportunity to work with my dad and, work with my dad, work with my brother-in-law and like build this thing. And jumping in was definitely, there's a learning curve, right? Like it's manufacturing, there's a lot to learn there. But for me, it's like with the passion there and family, I wake up and I get on the phone with the two of them. And that's my day. And we're solving problems and we're working together. And it's been an honor. It's a different experience than anything that I did independent of the business.
Yeah, I personally love the family culture that I guess we've built at Buffalo. Outside of just our immediate family that Joe just listed, it's the Buffalo family, I call it. So all of our employees, and coming from a bigger financial institution, my previous career, I hated the aspect of I was just a number on a spreadsheet. Here at Buffalo, you're a name. We know everyone by their first name. And I always have a saying that anytime I hire someone new, I always say, "Welcome to the Buffalo family." You're going to be treated like a family member, and that gets all the way down to our customers. When we build a relationship with the customer, they're going to be part of our Buffalo family now, and our vendors. So it's really kind of building that all encompassing family culture at Buffalo. I think it motivates you. You want to work harder for that person right next to you because they kind of think of you as family now. So it's a great thing that Joe kind of started, I guess 24 years ago now, and we're continuing on. And I wish I worked with Joe back 20 years ago because I couldn't imagine how passionate he was then. Because I think he's more passionate today than he was 20 years ago. And it's just it's a pleasure to see how this company has been growing year over year.
That's fabulous, Max. And that's what we want to do. And another thing about our company, there's a lot of people that, join us in entry-level positions, but they're promoted from within. They learn and grow. There's a lot of long-standing employees at Buffalo Wire. Just a couple of years ago, we had a couple of employees retire at 40 years. And you just don't see that anymore. I get a lot of pleasure employing folks. And I always say taking care of families and watching their families grow. I get a lot of pleasure from that.
Yeah, that's excellent. And again, that passionate, that family dynamic is obviously very clear in talking with the three of you, and certainly a great way to set an already fantastic company apart. So that's awesome to hear a little bit more about that dynamic. You beat me to the punch a little bit. You talk about the rebranding of Buffalo Wireworks to Buffalo, like you said, obviously more than a wire company. For such an old company, that's a pretty important and significant decision. Tell me a little bit about like what went into the decision, and what led you to this point now.
Yeah, so this is kind of where I step in from a branding background. For years, I was listening to my dad and Max talk about, we want to honor the authenticity of our brand, right? We're a legacy company. We've been around for 156 years, but we want to be known and have greater brand equity with more than just wire. So what do, right? We want to honor that legacy of Buffalo Wireworks, but then also, modernize and tell our story through our logo, as opposed to telling it through their slogan, which was more than a wire company. So finally, we all got together and we said, we got to change. We're still going to honor Buffalo Wire Works. That's still our website, buffalowire.com. We're still known with our corporate partners as Buffalo Wire Works, but we're really establishing more of a presence in rubber, urethane, manganese, wear parts, and getting out there and saying, we have this diverse product suite further than wire. We could be known from wire. That's where we came from, and we don't want to lose that. But we've developed and enhanced all of our offerings since. So dropping the wire works, we're also from Buffalo, so we're honoring Buffalo from that standpoint as well, but really wanted to drop that so that we don't need that slogan tagging along all of our advertisements, more than a wire company, to just be Buffalo. We're known in the market as the Buffalo Group, so we feel that it's going to be an awesome transition that we are externally about to announce and push out. So you're one of the first to hear, I guess, on a on a larger scale.
Well, we certainly appreciate sort of getting the scoop on that one, if you will. It sounds like a very exciting time. And Joe hit on it a little bit, and Max, I guess I'll sort of direct this question to you. You know, he talked about it in his opening remarks, and we talked about it, you know, as we were kind of getting familiar before recording this episode. A lot going on at Buffalo. Like we keep saying, more than a wire company. You've got the tech squad we talk about, a lot of engineering expertise, the diverse product suite, customer direct model. I mean, just a lot of very exciting stuff, a lot of stuff that really makes Buffalo kind of stand out in this market. Can you kind of talk about what Buffalo's differentiators in this market are and why that sets you guys apart?
Yeah. So, I mean, just feeding off of what Christine just said, it plays in a big portion of what we're trying to accomplish here and what we mean when we say Buffalo. So, and a lot of times when we go out to our customers, they say, oh, here comes the Buffalo team, here comes the Buffalo product. So we listen to them a little bit, and it makes sense just to transition to Buffalo. Because we're so much more than what our name is today. Sure, Buffalo Wire is 155 years old, and we pride ourselves on the wire products that we produced 150 years ago, but we're much more than what that stood for 150 years ago. So, with that, we understand that you need a full product suite within screening media and wear parts. We hear it all the time that, one thing can solve all. And it's a mentality at Buffalo Wire or Buffalo that's just not accurate anymore. Rubber can't solve all, urethane can't solve all, wire can't solve all. So Buffalo Wire, what we try to do is that we have the full product suite. Everything from punch plate to the woven mesh products to what we call our PFX self-cleaning and PFX self-cleaning with HT, our PFX module technology, our urethane products, our rubber products, and our soon-to-be welded wire products, which was an acquisition we made just a little bit ago. We have industrial screen products, which is really fine mesh, and then our full line of wear parts. So you can see, just going down the product suite, we're way more than what Buffalo Wire Works originally stood for, and it separates ourselves because what we established is listening to our customers and understanding that every application in its own right needs its best screening media to solve whatever issues or efficiencies or optimization gains they're trying to accomplish at each individual site. So with that in mind, we took what we pride ourselves on with engineering and engineering depth, and we wanted to bring an additional value add to our customers, which is free, and that's our tech squad services. So we have almost more than 30 engineers on staff at Buffalo Wire. Our tech squad team is made up of all sorts of different engineers, from application engineers to mechanical engineers, industrial engineers, territory managers who have an engineering degree or maybe potentially come from a mining educational background. And what we do is we go into a specific site, do a full screen survey, understand exactly what their application is, what they're trying to accomplish, what kind of spec they're trying to get to the ground. And we come up with a complete package of what we think is best to optimize that screening unit or that plant, whether it's some wear parts or the screening media itself. And we try to put a pitch together to showcase, what the Buffalo product suite can do for them. It might be a mix. We understand that maybe the top deck at the impact zone needs to be rubber panels. Then they might want to get some additional throughput down towards the feed end. And we might put some module PFX panels in there, or PFX panels that are hooked, whatever the application may call for. So we kind of understand that we need to understand the full package and what our product suite can do for them and how we can optimize their screening efficiencies, and honestly just make them better, right? We have a saying at Buffalo that one, we get better daily. It's a motto that we hang on our front office walls. So it's everything from us as employees at Buffalo Wire, but also our customers. How can they get better daily? And to help accomplish that, we've developed a tech squad. We develop our engineering depth, and our manufacturing operations. Something else that I don't know that the industry is fully aware of at Buffalo is that when we look at a product and how we want to engineer a product, yes, so of course we think about that end product and the state of that product and how it's going to help the field. We also think about how we're going to manufacture that product and what machinery can we design uniquely with our technology to make the product. So all of our PFX technology, all of those machines are built, designed, assembled all in-house at Buffalo. Those aren't just off the shelf kind of equipment or technology or machinery. We engineer it ourselves. And that's what we think about every day. How are we going to improve our tooling library? How are we going to improve our operations in our plants? How are we going to optimize with automation? Everything under the sun to get us better, so that we can be faster to the marketplace and have our products be the best quality for our end users.
Absolutely.
20 years ago, minimal automation. Today we have robots throughout, automated equipment, and that's the way you compete in the United States. And a deep engineering bench. Our product, our product pipeline is very strong. New products are coming out consistently, and we feel like we're leading the industry in introducing new problem-solving products.
Absolutely. Yeah, that definitely does seem to be the way things are going as far as automation is concerned.
Yeah, and as Joe mentioned, it's almost a joke, but we really do believe this on a daily basis, that when we say we're 156 years old, but we operate with a startup mentality, that's so accurate. We're I ask my engineers every day to push the envelope with screening media and how to look at its design and how to get better. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to solve the issues that our customers are giving us, right? And another thing that we love to say at Buffalo is that give us your worst headache and we're gonna make it go away. That's why you bring in Buffalo. Give us your worst headache. We're going to solve an issue for you. So we're going to put engineers on it. We're going to design something that's going to, solve whatever you're experiencing there and to make hopefully make your day better.
Well, on that, Max, let's follow on the Tech Squad. Tech Squad's very interesting. During COVID, during the last recession, the industry lost a lot of talent. So we said, oh boy, let's use our engineers to help our customers solve problems. So someone could be located in a mining quarry around the world, call us on their iPhone, we could look at the problem, and I get my technical people together to solve that problem. I think our producers, matter of fact, I know our producers appreciate that because we're rolling up a lot of producer business right now, and we're going to keep doing that, servicing our customers fully with our technical depth and product suite.
Yeah, that's excellent. I love that. I love that saying you bring up, Max, give us your worst headache, we'll make it go away. And it really sounds like, based on what you and Joe are describing, is that Buffalo's really seems to be sort of positioning itself as really as much of sort of a one-stop shop, if you will, as it can to, not only get your product into customers' hands and get a variety of products into your customers' hands, but then being there on the engineering and service end as well to make sure everything's running correctly, that they're in the best shape they can be with the equipment you're providing.
Yeah. Yep. And one of our go-to-market strategy is that we're manufacturing direct. So, it's very important to us that our customers are able to reach out to the manufacturer and our expertise and, our staff of engineers, instead of trying to go through, a middleman, let's say, because they're going to get our full attention from a manufacturing standpoint of what our capabilities are and how we can, make their lives easier or better.
Yeah, absolutely. That's huge. So as people are going to be listening to this episode, we're just about a month out from AGG1. Very exciting, heading to St. Louis for the first time, a lot of opportunity there, a much expanded footprint on the show. I'm sure a lot is going into the planning of what Buffalo is planning on bringing to the show. Can you tell me a little bit about the plans for Buffalo at the show, going to be debuting the new logo, and what else might people be able to expect from the company?
We will debuting a new trade show booth, which will be amazing. Historically, we have really kind of focused more on the people we're bringing to the show, the products that we're bringing to the show, making people immerse in our booth. And now we're really going to have something that stands out and represents where we're looking to go in the future of Buffalo. So if you are going to AGG1, look for the big buffalo be hanging above our booth. A new splashy thing that we're excited about. Come find the buffalo. So as opposed to having our logo name up there, it will be a buffalo that will be debuting. And that's really exciting too, because when you do see our logo, I believe that will be pushed out in the promotional newsletter for this podcast. You'll see that the buffalo that we are using as the icon is actually a rendition and iteration of the first initial buffalo used for Buffalo Wireworks. So
That's so cool.
Exciting for us to have that up there. And we're really, we're going to be modernizing our booth. So we'll have a lot of QR codes that will take you to our literature and our product pages. We'll be really going into the depths of aggregate, mining, industrial, recycling, architectural. So you can see the depths of we're looking to span from an industry perspective as well. But we're excited about it. And the three of us will be there. So definitely come say hello.
Yeah, really exciting time for Buffalo Wire, and I keep on saying Buffalo Wire. I should say Buffalo more, but to showcasing a new booth of this caliber is exciting in itself. We're also going to have a tech squad section in our booth, so anyone can come and speak to our engineers, share whatever trouble or issues they're going through and how we could potentially solve it. We're more than just making a sale at Buffalo. We want to really, make an impact and a value add with our customers and the relationships that we're trying to build. So yeah, come find us at the show and challenge us. We love to be challenged. We don't get excited over a sale. We get excited over, solving an issue for years to come down the road. So come challenge us with your biggest, as I would say, your biggest headache.
You mentioned sort of the rebranding of the buffalo, sort of harkening back to the initial logo. That's super cool. That's the kind of stuff I'm a sucker for. Some of that nostalgia, sort of the really honing in on your roots.
Nostalgia.
That's really cool. That's very exciting. Where else can people beyond AGG1? Where else can people find Buffalo at different trade shows, association shows throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, we actually are really diving in and making sure that we're attending numerous association events throughout the year all throughout the US and outside of the US as well. We're really looking to expand our territories and our footprint. So definitely majority of the associations that you would think that we'd be at, we're attending. So we will be posting that through our LinkedIn channels. We also have an awesome newsletter. So if anyone wants to subscribe to that, we would love you to join. We give company updates, any promotional content that we're pushing out, any new acquisitions that we have. Really, you can find out everything you need to know from our newsletter, our website, buffalowire.com, which will be new. We are rolling that out as well. So check out that rebrand and association events. So we're out and about.
So, it's clear from this conversation, from getting to know the three of you, and just, from learning more about Buffalo over the last couple months, it's very clear that this is a company that is sort of always on the lookout for, new opportunities and isn't shy to, embrace change or embrace different things that are going on. Maybe a very open-ended, broad question, but what's next for Buffalo?
We have global aspirations. We're very strong in the Western Hemisphere. I spend a lot of time looking for acquisition targets so we could expand. The mining companies and producers, large producers are around the world. If we're servicing them in North America, say, case in point, why can't we service them in Europe or Asia? Why can't the good word spread there with our great technical products? So we absolutely are on the prowl and have been. We made 4 acquisitions in recent history, and we're going to continue doing that. We love the space. We're very passionate about what we do. I've been doing manufacturing for 43 years. I wake up at 5 in the morning and I love it. And I love American manufacturing. We're very proud of what we do at Buffalo Wire.
Yeah, that was good, John. On top of that, there's a couple key engineering projects that we've been trying to wrap up. One of them, though, very near and dear to my heart, and I think Joe's as well, but our welded wire product line, we're just wrapping up the final touches, but that will be launched later this year. A full suite of welded wire screening media. On top of that, trying to finalize another facility for us here in the Western Hemisphere. And just so everyone is aware, we do have 3 main facilities. We have 2, potentially 3 main plants here in Buffalo. We got one in Sparks, Nevada, and one just outside San Antonio, New Brunswick, Texas. And then we have an operating entity in Guatemala as well. So I'm looking for my next footprint to lay down soon.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you all so much for joining us. So for Drilling Deeper, I want to thank once again Joe Abramo, Christine Abramo, and Max Davis for joining us from Buffalo, not Buffalo Wire, from Buffalo. If for more information or to learn more about Buffalo and what they have going on, you can reach Christine at C Abramo. That's CABRAMO at buffalowire.com. You can visit their website, buffalowire.com, visit their LinkedIn, or Christine, you mentioned the newsletter. Let the people know how they can get signed up for the newsletter if they want.
Yes, you will head right to our website and it will say subscribe to the newsletter. So you will be able to access that right from our new website.
So easy, even I can do it. I love it. Excellent. Well, Joe, Christine, Max, thank you very much again, and best of luck moving forward now as Buffalo.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.
Thanks again to Joe Abramo, Christine Abramo, and Max Davis for joining us on this episode of Drilling Deeper. Stay tuned for our next episode coming on March 11th, episode 37. In that episode, you'll hear some insights from this year's Pit and Quarry Roundtable and Conference and much, much more. So, for Drilling Deeper, I am Jack Kopansky. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.